Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
In my whip past your E Boulevard, watching posers set and flex, hoping to act hard, praying some of their denials find a way to stick, writing articles, denying wine, eating pain chips. Yeah, who does that?
What about all charges that the state listed? Reading proof, that's the thing that gets you twisted. Fraud, extortion, now there's more threats, saying the mafia is coming in your whip.
He told the world that the FBI will be calling, because the mafia finds the truth appalling. Spinning your conviction in every detail, speed running another attempt at getting re-jailed. Imagine literally taking advantage of a bloody man, misleading him to be the face of your scams. His biggest mistake, thinking that lawyer cared, as you threw his life into further disrepair.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, their grift.
Launching buzzwords and accusations while pleading due to the very things they accuse others of. And when you stand up, they make threats. Wow.
If a certain lawyer is a joke, then they're the punchline. But let's take a minute and truly try to define. Paging the dumbest ecosystem, repeat perps, forthwith known to all the planets as the derps.
These are fun times ending.
That just blew out my eardrums.
I love that part.
I've got little cockroach ears. You know, I'm scurrying around under the refrigerator looking for breadsticks.
Cockroach ears indeed.
My little cockroach ears can't take it. My little cockroach ears are sensitive.
Man, today has been a wild one.
It has. Again, we only got like one day off, you know. I got so many messages yesterday from people who were like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're back to this deposition. I could watch it a million times. And people know, like, every time I see it, it gets better.
I want to cover that all the time. Like, that is some fun, like, coverage, too. I mean, it is. That is fun to sit down and talk about. I mean, we have a good time there. But how do you do that when... Oh, Lord, just the stuff that has come up today alone. We have.
I know. It's too much to even get into tonight.
I'm telling you. I mean, just tonight alone, we have more proof that is coming out from the past, of course. That stuff is interesting. We have, let's see.
Wait, you mean proof of the things that we were told don't exist that she never said and didn't post?
Indeed. And they still couldn't be saying, even though they're on videos saying the same things. I mean, strange how that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then let's see. Then we have, of course, our new fascinating requests that are coming from one of the cases. That was fun times to see. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then we have, I don't even know how to describe the lawyer going off the rails. I mean, he is gone. I don't even know what to call this mess that he's doing right now.
Well, I think it's just evidence that we have a mental health crisis in this country. And I hope that our new Health and Human Services Director does something to fix it. That's all I can say.
I'm telling you, paging loose sniffer line.
we need serious help for our people with mental disorders and problems, and that's not a joke. We really do.
No,
and I think
really
it's out of control.
Yes.
It's out of control. Like the fact that people can go on for years and years acting in this way and never get help. It's sad.
I have something funny to read too. You know, typically, I don't typically read certain stupid people's articles, but I found something really funny today. Wouldn't it be funny if I had laughed at a certain moron, you know, paint chips buddy, if I'd laughed at those people so much that they did publish some of the things that I said and emailed to them?
Don't tell me they took the bait.
Oh my God. Well, speaking of that, well, let's look at some lovely selections, shall we?
Oh, Lord.
So good. Oh my God. Man, anybody that reads this, and you know, I kind of love it. So here's some fun stuff. Well, let's see here. I reached out to Hale's main.
By the way, I need a red pen because Hale's. What are you talking about? I reached out to Hale's main public relations. No. Hale's should be plural and possessive. Plural possessive, which means you have left off, for a writer, you should know this. You've left off an apostrophe after the S, which would make it plural possessive. You dumbass.
Well, you know, I mean,
we're right within the fourth word. We're the fifth word. We're already making mistakes.
Are you surprised? Are you really, Megan?
and look at this idiotic, instead of parentheses, what does he use? I don't know. You don't even know what you call that. Nobody uses that. What is he
well, I guess
using
it's
here?
like square bullet points. You know?
Yes, this is so improper. It's just terrible. God. This is like nails on a chalkboard for me. I'm going to try and get through this, but it's going to be
worth it. It'll be worth it. Trust me. So I reached out to Hale's main public relations YouTubers, That Umbrella Guy, Tug, Shizzy Wisnut, and my former friend Megan Fox.
I would like to submit a complaint. I would like him to change the word friend to my former acquaintance. That would be more accurate.
Indeed. Tug responded. When presented with some of the evidence I had developed, he was appreciative of the tip. Quote, this is me. The scumbag that admittedly takes advantage of female victims he covers slides into my DMs again. Yep, that was me. That was definitely me.
Oh, you make me laugh.
You know, what's funny is he admits that John Cook's a bad guy, too. This is the fascinating thing about this, you know. Tug didn't care about evidence because John Cook is a bad guy. Now, he skips a few he skips a few items that are here, you know, of course, you can say. I'm like, LOL, I'm not surprised you simped John Cook, to be honest. LP herself says the guy's an abuser, drove his last wife nuts. They admittedly keep her remains in the shed. But imagine you skip all that, hoping they'll give you some more clout. So maybe another unfortunate woman might mistake you as a journalist.
An unfortunate woman.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Alex. Alex is in the chat. My cousin. She says I can listen to Tug read a dictionary. Well, join the club.
Definitely.
Don't make him read the P's though, because if he gets to pecuniary, now I can't say it.
Pincutionary?
What? Pecuniary? He says it totally wrong. Now you've got me saying it that way. Pecuniary.
Pincutionary. I love it. Let me get another. I need wait. There's more on this one. My bad. I didn't roll down enough on that one. Here we go.
Yeah, you forgot the part where he tells on himself.
It's got more. It's got more.
Oh my God, it's so bad. I can't believe he published this.
Oh, it's amazing. No more wasted time on you today, scumbag. After stating no more time wasted on you, scumbag, he pretended to send me another dozen more messages. I could, as I've told Megan before, sometimes I can't help myself. I'm like, maybe I will tell you what kind of a piece of garbage you are a few more times. This included a dossier of John Cook's alleged misdeeds. And you can see we skipped a few messages here, because I asked him, since he wants to skip over John Cook's abuse, I asked him that many times. I asked him some pointed questions about himself. And, well, he left that one out, obviously, because it said, hey, don't skip my questions about your abusive past either. I asked you some
I can't believe you posted this.
Oh,
I really
my God,
can't.
it's amazing. And he's posting.
See, because I sent him some very similar messages that he chose to skip. Because I wouldn't answer any of his questions, because I would answer his questions with a question of my own, which any question he asked me, I would respond with, how many victims did you blank? Where's my button? How many victims did you? And he didn't print that. So I'm shocked that he printed this.
I was kind of surprised myself. I'm surprised I didn't get a snippet. Hey. But he continues, I asks you some point blank ones on abuse. And who? How many? Is that your MO? But then I go into information because he's like, tell me about John Cook's abuse. I was like, so here's your first and last freebie for me because I find you detestable. But here's a chance to tell some truth. All right, let me get the next clipping.
I find you detestable. I like your vocabulary,
Oh, I'm being,
sign of an intelligent person.
I love to tell him that he's horrible. I was like, there's number one, police body cam footage from John Cook's arrest. Shara is one of the many sources with it uploaded. Just search Cook. And he could. That's all he would have to do. He could go on her channel and search Cook. In it, LP calls him an abuser. Her words, talks about his abuse too. Says he drove his ex-wife to end herself, and they keep the remains in the shed. To the police, by the way, to the police. Mm-hmm. And she's done it with droves of others from Northport to Otter Creek. 2, the messages to Shara. I've attached one. You know which one I'm talking about, that certain one? Yes, I attached it with LP talking about John Cook, Ari the kid. 3, Bruce verified the messages as real. I attached his email complaining about doxing old messages. Not that they're fake. And 4, and if you want to know they're liars, read the effing police report on Cook's arrest.
Yep.
Lies on the gun, lies on what he did all the way through. LP is the one that rats him out when the police arrive with a warrant. There. Now either F off or answer my questions on how many women you yourself have abused, the years, etc. When I pointed out that none of those alleged incidents had anything to do with the protective order, he called me a fraud. No,
but wait a minute, didn't he asked about yes. abuse?
Yes, he said, show me where John Cook is abusive. So I was like, all right, here you go.
So now that was the question. He's just moving the goalposts. It's so inauthentic.
Yeah. So here is the, I made sure to screenshot this wonderful part here. Let's see. Let me bring that up here. All right. So, be a fraud. I said, quote, what a fraud. You asked for proof of abuse. You got it. 3 minutes passed. That's how long it took him, by the way, to respond and ignore it. 3 minutes, actually. I mean, I looked at it. 3 minutes. It was right there. He answered me in. I was like, can you ignore it? I guess Bruce would be angry otherwise, and no money, none of them dollar signs, baby. Or maybe it's abusers simping abusers. Again, how many victims have you effed over? How many women? 2017, 2021? Are there more attempts, more victims? Of course, you do anything to deflect that, you scumbag. I mean, that is me.
I already know about more attempts. I have spoken to a few.
Ooh.
There were attempts. So his claiming that he's changed his ways or whatever. Nah. There were other victims who told me he was very flirty, but he got shut down.
It's not a proof of abuse. So are you telling me that Lynette Preston's a liar then? Which one is it? See, I put them in this place where if that's not proof of abuse, either it is proof or Lynette Preston's a liar. Either way,
Right,
it's
it comes from her.
Yeah. So it's one or the other, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
look at that. Breezy won't allow it, baby. It's not proof of abuse, he says. And it doesn't explain Hale's behavior. He never explained Hale's behavior. And it's unlikely he will ever post any of the material I provided. Despite that, he noted, and maybe a rent-to-own scumbag like yourself can threaten or force vulnerable women into silence, but you aren't going to threaten the truth into silence this time. That's my words too. Shizzy Megan didn't respond, of course.
That's right. He's never going to hear from me ever again.
He's talking about the protective order. And I find this fascinating as a subject line. And this actually works into what we're going to discuss tonight. You know, this is just a treat off the front of this. I find it interesting because the protective order, including the item that they are trying to shop around, you know, the video of 10 feet, that has already been decided. All of that has been decided.
Yeah, they've been spreading a big rumor and lie that the video was never presented to the judge. I have evidence that that is incorrect. And the judge saw the unedited video from Lynette in the judge's own handwriting. I've read this. And I'm going to show it to you soon at some point. And the judge decided that it was a violation of the protective order.
Well, isn't it interesting too? So off of the protective order, again, like I've never seen the protective order, never looked it up before. Mr. Hales has never put that up either, anything. But yes, he was shoving it around to everybody and their mama. The guy who just wrote that article there.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that they are pimping around, they put screenshots of it. They included it in the article that they put out. But on top of that, they were sending it out everywhere, which that's interesting because, again, these are people that were brought in, that they're fundraising. They're sharing the articles over an ecosystem. I mean, point blank, they are sharing community tabs and more. Yeah, again, not a good way to make a judge happy.
Well, it's interesting because I read in there that the judge admonished that she did not want to see either party publishing the protective order anywhere. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy kept that instruction. In fact, I asked him for the protective order several times. He never gave it to me. Mm-hmm. He kept saying things like, I'm not sure where it is. I don't know. Like, right. He never gave it to me. And like, I'd just forget and I'd go on looking for other things. And, but I never got it until this idiot published it. Yeah. Now I disagree with the judge. I think all protective orders, if they're public and they're not sealed, you know, are available to the public. But I think what she was trying to do was calm the situation down between the two of them. So basically saying, I don't want you using this for content, either of you, right. You know, neither one of you is going to put this up. But Lynette had been putting it up. She had posted screenshots of it. And the judge,
this guy's just mailing the whole thing around. Mm-hmm. I mean,
and now it's out there. So we're going to go over it for sure. Probably next week. Probably whenever. Not yet. There's so much in it. There's so much in it that God. I'm still going over it, and I've already found 2 huge bombshells in it. You guys.
Megan has been. Some of the stuff that, let's just say, some of the stuff she found in there is like, wow. Mm-hmm. But tying that in, so there was something that was brought up today. Interestingly, there was a letter that was brought up. It actually came up on, God, what's that fat guy's name? Milk Toast Presents. What's the fucking name? I can't remember.
Fat Boy Central? Fat Boy Town?
I just can't remember his name. Yeah, you that guy.
Fat Town's worst? Fat Town's worst.
I just can't remember his name.
Fat Tire's worst.
Fat Tire.
Now, you know what's funny about him is that he has a meltdown almost weekly about what I'm doing to him. And I never talk about him, like, ever. This is only if like something comes up. I'm not coming after this guy. I don't even care. I don't even know who he is. I can never even remember his name. And it's so funny because he keeps on making references to how I'm coming after him, and he's making cartoons of us fighting in a ring. And I'm like, who? Who? What? Who?
Is the ring a donut? Are y'all finding it?
Like, why am I in a boxing ring with Humpty Dumpty? I don't understand.
Have a great fall, son. Oh no! Hey, by the way, before I forget, everybody here, we have over 3,000 people. That is awesome, man. We're climbing still, so that's great. We're about to break 3,100. If you would please tell people we are live tonight. Is a good one. It's fun. They've all been good lately, man. They've been really good. But tell people
Really good.
I know, man. I have content wise, it's like again, wouldn't wish it on anybody, but my lord, what a crazy case.
Content Krampus is working overtime. It's like every day is Christmas.
It is. It is amazing. It almost gives me the mean sweats.
And speaking of Fat Town or whatever, whoever, one of the reasons why I hardly ever mention that guy is because he said multiple times that he has, like all these problems, anxiety, and all these problems. It's like, I have no interest in any of that. I don't, like, okay, go live your life. Go like to therapy. Why is he doing this? Why is he involving himself in this thing that is so volatile? If he's so fragile, he seems like a fragile person. So,
yeah,
I'm staying away from that.
I thought that with the communications between him and Slug, I thought, man,
right.
I feel bad, except for he's one of those people that really wants to knives out with another person. They really want to do damage, and
and like, how dare you sit around and like you're trying to do damage to people, and then you use your mental health as a weapon, But whatever, I believe him. He says he has mental problems. I believe him. I think that's evident. So,
yes, I can definitely buy that.
10-foot pole.
No. On his channel. Oh, by the way, I forgot my shield. Damn you, Megan.
Oh, sorry.
So we're live. Make sure that you likes are free, by the way. And if you'd like to go further, if you'd like to help out the channel, consider ye old breadsticks. They are indeed welcome, as always. And again, thank you all for being here, man. Good turnouts. Like I said, it's been a crazy day. So anyway, back to that show.
Breadcrumbs. Throw them under the refrigerator. We'll scurry under there and get them.
I'm gonna get them breadcrumbs, baby. Got my scurrying shoes on.
For those of you who might have missed the reference, I've gone back to the old school cockroach, Megan and Tug. One of the last cases we covered, the attorney there called us. What did he call us? Cockroaches. What was it? I can't even remember.
He said
something about throwing it. We were cockroaches, and he wanted to throw our obituaries in the trash. It was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
God, I don't even remember now.
Man, you know what? I need to make all of those like clips for the intro, and then I will never forget them.
True.
That's what I need to do.
I need to have like the cockroach dig. That was hilarious.
I'm gonna have to go back to get the cockroach one again. No.
Do you remember the good times we had with that with Jeff?
Oh yeah, that breadsticks, pond scum. We were all pond scum. That's why we have pond scum posse. Yeah.
My pond scum that Jeff made is the funniest freaking thing ever. Look at Jeff made that.
Yeah, I was going through organizing pictures, and I like through all my stuff, and I found the Pond Scum Posse ones that I just set aside. I was like, oh man, look, it's Jeff's Pond Scum Posse.
Jeff made some really good ones.
He did. They were really funny. There's mine.
I like this one too, of all three of us.
I like this one he sent me. This was mine right here. Well, no, that was mine.
That was so funny.
One giant googly eye.
What? God, it's so funny. And I don't have his. He had his. His would look just like this, but it had a cowboy hat on and a mustache, I think.
I know.
He had like a handlebar mustache.
Really
they were so funny.
I gotta go see if I can pull all those.
It might be somewhere on my computer.
I'll have to check and see if they're still around. I know I've got them somewhere on my computer.
I know they're on my Twitter DMs, but they've got to be back there a ways. It's going to take me days to scroll up.
That's what caused That's what caused me to put together all the weird Farmer Tug ones. And I don't know if you saw those. Yeah, for some reason, I was making like the Farmer Tug one, and they kept putting me in shorts and stuff. I don't understand.
Short shorts? Were they short shorts?
Yes, they were. Let's see. Let me see if I can.
It's not worth wearing shorts unless they're short.
Look at this. Look at this freaking. These are short enough, I have to say. They're not like short like that certain lawyers, but they're short enough. Look at that. They're short enough.
I think I remember this, and you were like, "I don't wear shorts."
I don't wear shorts. I don't. I don't know the last time I ever wore shorts. But anyway, okay, derailed. Got to get back to it.
Derailed.
So on that show, we had this weird conversation that came up where they were reading a message that was sent to Ohio lawyers telling them that they wanted evidence preserved. Why? Because they were going to go after Jeremy, and they were going to go after his lawyers because
Jeremy's
of fraud.
Ohio lawyers now.
Yes, it's Ohio. Yes,
Okay, so you
yes,
guys remember the letter that BBB sent to the aunt's attorneys who went to court to try to challenge the adoption and to ask for a temporary emergency order of custody for the child. He went after them with the similar letter. Now, again, remember, Bruce does not represent Lynette or John or HG in anything but the federal case that he has pro hoc vice status in. Yet he's writing to the attorneys in Florida in a totally separate matter, claiming to be her counsel. He can't do that. And now he's doing it again in Ohio, inserting himself into Ohio as a lawyer who is not admitted to the Ohio bar. You cannot just send letters as a lawyer across state lines where you don't practice doing lawyer things. And yet here he is.
Some of the stuff he does is just wild. I mean, I'm like, what are you doing, man? So you people out there, would you like to see the letter? Would you like to look at it and truly like drink in crazy?
Just take it all in.
Yeah. Would you like to see that letter? I mean, since
if you've I'm just telling you, if you've never done drugs before, you're going to feel like you've had a hit of LSD by the time we get through with this thing.
I mean, this is nuts, man. I can't believe.
Do not operate any heavy machinery. Make sure you're sitting down in a safe place.
Sent this out, it's just his conspiracies are so nuts. His duty to preserve evidence. Oh, let's look at that one. This is really good. Okay, let's do it. Here we go.
I think I just saw Jeremy in the chat.
Hey, Jeremy, what's up?
But the chat is flying so fast, I can't find it.
Yes, everybody's like, yes, hey, babies. Yeah, I did see him in there. There you are, man.
There he is.
See you, by the way, Jeremy. I know it's there was a question, by the way, over, hey, can I tell if it's the real one? He has a check mark by his name. So he's verified on here. So,
cool.
If anybody's ever wondering if it's the real Jeremy that is in a chat, certain names, if you've been verified on YouTube, you have a check mark by your name. So
a check mark? I've not seen that.
Yeah. Like, let me see. I'm just going to say comment. Okay. I think it should. Okay. If you look at the
I have to look at it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was looking at it in StreamYard.
Yeah, you can't see it on there. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Well, I've missed it because the chat's flying too fast.
All right. Do you have it pulled up? I'll show it. I'll do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Do it now.
Okay. I'm just going to say comment. All right. So you'll see right by my name, you'll see a little check mark.
Oh,
right
a little
there.
check mark.
Yeah.
When
the
did
check
that
mark. See,
start?
there he is. Yeah.
Does
see what the hell's commented right above me.
Does that work for me?
You have to have 100,000 subs on it.
Oh,
then,
of course.
Yeah. Yep.
See, all the more reason why you all need to go subscribe to me too.
But it has to be right by your name there. I know it. Unfortunately, they should allow people some kind of way to go in and authenticate a channel. I think it should be, much less than 100,000 because you shouldn't. It shouldn't be like
tough to get.
Yeah, well, it's kind of ridiculous though. Maybe 20,000 or something, make it somewhere
Yeah.
lower. That way, that's still a high bar. And we shouldn't have people out there impersonating channels. But
Well, that's why I
is,
give people wrenches, like other creators wrenches when so that people know who they are. Because otherwise, I've had people impersonate me and say some heinous crap.
Oh yeah, I've had. You know what? I should give the Hales a wrench simply because that keeps people from ever being able to mess with them while they're here. You know what I mean? Like, not that any moderator would or anything. What I mean, but they can not be banned or timed out or anything on accident. I've done that on accident. I actually did that one time. It was pretty.
Jeff was always sleep modding on my channel, banning people left and right in his sleep.
I put my phone in my pocket one time and I banned a bunch of people on accident. I was walking around on I can't remember what channel. It may have been on Ricada Law channel. I may have banned.
Oh, that's even funnier.
Yeah. When his no ban anybody, I was like,
right, because he would scream at you. Now, don't do anything, Marty.
I was like, I think I banned 12 people on your channel today, so you can even ban them. He's like, what? Yeah. He's like, who are they? I don't know, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. So anyway, the duty to preserve evidence. Isn't this is like when you think about this is wild. Again, you have Bruce writing to the Ohio freaking lawyers, and he's writing to them over something that's already been decided. We're talking about a protective order that is already in place. They can go, they can complain, they can say whatever, but not really. The way that they're doing that, you have to be careful about how you complain, because otherwise, aren't you violating an order? So I represent Michelle Preston and John Cook in current civil litigation in Florida federal court filed by Jeremy Hales, your client, in his Ohio protective order case against Preston and Cook. That is a weird way of saying that, by the way. I get he's saying, do you need to remind them who they represent?
Well, and it's almost like conflating the two cases so that it sounds like he is representing Lynette in the Ohio thing.
Yeah.
Do you see?
You have to
the
read
first time I read it, I thought he said he was.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. That's what I thought it was saying. I thought it said that he was representing in Ohio too. I thought, wait a minute.
Yeah. And after reading this sentence, they should just throw it right in the trash.
I wonder.
He's not an Ohio lawyer. He has he can't do this.
I wonder though. Maybe he writes people like Scott Stark, and maybe he has to remind them of who's being represented.
Oh God, poor Mr. Stark.
Oh Lord,
I feel bad for that guy. I hope his cataracts are better.
I feel bad for health issue. I wouldn't wish him on anybody, but he'd be happy to. He's allowing people to wreck people under his life, his name. So
except who knows what he was told. Like really, would you put anything past BBB? Who knows?
I wouldn't, but I mean, that's just, it's gross to think. And they wouldn't mourn if Jeremy Hales, he ended up, if his life would have gotten wrecked by the thumbnail litigation, they would have been like, hey, cut me that check, baby. Give me some money for all those quote unquote hours. Oh, they would have been asking for, they've been asking for lawyer fees and everything else. So they wouldn't have felt bad for Jeremy. So,
true.
If I were named on that, I could have well been on there. Again,
look, I'm a nicer person than these people. What can I say? I still feel bad for
me. I don't feel bad for I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of compassion and empathy. But these people, they manipulate that. So,
I do, and it's usually my downfall.
Dun, 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 it is.
Dun,
it
dun,
is.
Dun.
No, but you shouldn't change that. It's actually good. It's also a thing that it makes you cover important cases too. So,
That's true.
All right. So anyway, this is to place you on notice that the actions of your client in procuring a fraudulent protective order. Wait, what? A fraudulent protective order?
Oh boy, is he treading thin ice. Go back. Go back.
I mean,
Or
what is going
Okay,
on?
where is he getting this idea that it was fraudulent? And by the way, folks, I have just reviewed the protective order. It is in no way fraudulent. The judge
no.
reviewed all the evidence, and the evidence they claim she never saw, she literally wrote about. The
Yeah.
10 feet video. She
And
literally
again-
wrote about it, and she saw it from Lynette.
And they know this because they're sharing it all over the fucking ecosystem.
I know.
You
It's
know?
so weird. It's like they think that this works for them. They think this is somehow in their favor.
This is so dumb there. In procuring a fraudulent protective order from an Ohio court to use for harassment and to generate content will be subject of federal court litigation.
How? First of
Yeah.
all, he's representing her as a defendant in a federal case. He cannot pull anyone else into that case. So this is just garbage. This
Actually, what he's
means
saying,
nothing.
so what he's telling other people here, let's just throw this out here too. I want to note something to you. Just give me a minute here, okay? Give me 1 second. It will take me a moment. So he's been sending out his emails again, and he is promising.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he is promising to bring a quote major damages lawsuit against Hales for cyber stalking under 18 USC 2261A and 2261B because this is again his words, because he also targets the neighbor's young child. This will be a historic case of celebrity stalking private persons. So that's what he's saying. I bet he's talking about.
I'm bored by him. I feel like yawning. He keeps repeating the same thing over and over
It
again.
gets crazier though because
I'm tired of it.
well, his new
boring.
stuff. He's out here mailing now, throwing Randy in there as part of the and Polymop, of course. He's throwing that in there too. He says,
Stop trying to make Polymop happen.
Oh God. He's like, there's a federal lawsuit filed by Hales to fill his storyline. So yes, he and his lawyer, the scummiest of all time, are using federal court litigation to create content.
He called Randy the scummiest lawyer of all time.
The scummiest of all time. Yes, he did.
Wow.
He did indeed. Yep. He is.
I mean, while he still has a license, that's a stretch. Just saying.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Yes, actually, he is reaching out to multiple YouTube channels, anyone that he thinks might actually cover. He's been dropping mails to a lot of people, apparently. Fascinating, isn't it? Yeah, maybe he should be put on that preservation order.
L. Lou has some tips for you on the reading. More constipated and whiny, please, Tug.
Oh my God. Federal court. I don't know. It hurts me inside. Actually, the real thing is more like this. It does remind me of Bueller. I mean,
what did we used to call him? Bruce Melatonin.
Yeah. I mean, God. But you must preserve. Look, you underlined it too. You must preserve all electronic evidence, including all privileged communications with Mr. Hales in the form of email, SMS, and other form. What? You think you're going to break privilege on a protective order that he won? And not just one, but there have been additions to.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. In order for a judge to rule that attorney-client privilege is waived, it would have to be extraordinary circumstances. And this case wasn't appealed. This case, she did not appeal this protective order. So who is he to say that this is a fraudulent order? She never appealed it. This is a lawful order. Period.
I anticipate motions seeking to apply the crime fraud exception to discover communications between you and your client.
Based on what?
You are allowed
What
to
evidence?
Well, what's jacked up about this is, number one, Jeremy is allowed to talk about what happens in his life. He can. He can absolutely talk about the things that are going on in his life, as has been noted with the judge. He can talk about that. And this whole idea of creating content, isn't it fascinating? Found out about this letter because Bruce was talking about this thing on one of the anti-Hale's ecosystem channels. They were going over it. Isn't that bizarre? I mean, they say people are doing things, creating, they're multiplying the freaking lawsuits. I mean, God, I don't even, they're polyflopping, you know? And still, and he says, well, as his actions, including the vexatious Ohio court filing, or a furtherance of Hale's cyberstalking for entertainment and profit enterprise in violation of 18 USC 226(1)(a). That's what he's telling everybody, by the way. He's going to file under, he's going to file under 18 USC 226(1)(a). Can't forget A.
Can't forget A.
Yeah, so it's fascinating. So, by the way, if you're curious about 18 USC code, this is actually the code for stalking. Just a note. So he's trying to quote that they're going to do this under the stalking guidelines. Actually, let me pull this up. Give me one second. Let me pull it up here.
Okay.
Since we note it so much, why not? You know.
Yeah, I've looked at it before, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but since he brings it up all the time, let's.
I can't wait for the Ohio judge to get wind of this.
Oh.
That woman does not play. I would not want to be in her courtroom. Holy shit! I mean, she's for real serious.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
she has no patience for any of this nonsense. She's gonna blow a gasket. It's going to be hilarious.
It's great. I mean, Jeremy has been very, I'm not talking about the protective or the details of it.
He's obeying that judge to the letter. He's like, no, I'm not pissing her off. Yeah. Yeah. She's serious.
Like he didn't bring it up at all. Like,
nope.
And
he avoided it completely when I asked him about it. I got to give him props for that because I was like, wonder how I didn't get that. And I'm like, I never really asked him about it, but now I know because I've read it now, and the judge was displeased that Lynette was putting it up online, and she said very specifically, I don't want to see this online.
Yeah.
And again, Jeremy obeys the judge's orders. He obeyed the other judge too, who said, I don't want to see this online, and he obeyed that too. He didn't talk about what they talked about in their settlement for the one she brought against him. He obeys judges. Lynette, not so much.
So they say, whoever, 1, travels to interstate or foreign commerce or is present within special maritime territorial jurisdiction of the U.S., blah, 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 with the intent to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, put under surveillance with the intent to kill, injure, harass, or intimidate another person in the course of, as a result of such travel, engages in conduct that, A, places the person in reasonable fear of death or serious bodily injury. 2, that person or people around them, basically their pets, etc., causes, attempts to cause, or would be reasonably expected to cause substantial emotional distress to a person described.
Again, remember what Judge Bolitho said about emotional distress. Remember, he said embarrassment is not actionable. Embarrassment is not harassment. Being embarrassed, being mocked, being ridiculed is not a crime.
I mean, it's, again, if you're like, hey, there's got to be more here. No, here's what you get. Or with the intent to. So this with the intent to, injure, harass, intimidate, or place under surveillance with the intent to, blah, blah, blah. Any interactive computer service, electronic communication. They're essentially saying, any way that you would do that. So it's fascinating. Jeremy as a victim, because Jeremy, he is the victim of people. This has been decided in court, by the way, just to make that very clear. him as the victim. He has these people going out and trying to steamroll his life, but yet he's somehow, some way in violation of that. Make that make sense to me. I don't get it. So you already hoodwinked the court once.
Oh God.
Lord.
Look at him, how he accuses other lawyers he's never met before. This is the second set of lawyers he's done this to.
That's
First were the
nasty.
the lawyers in Miami, right? Where he writes that nasty thing accusing them of, what was the thing taking bribes. Remember? He accused them of taking the money as a bribe.
I mean, he said some crazy stuff that he cannot prove.
No,
You know?
he never offers any evidence of any of this. And when he says you already hoodwinked the court once about the 10 feet incident, that is a lie. The judge saw the video herself from Lynette, and the judge made the decision herself.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's like, you already hoodwinked the court once about the quote-unquote 10 feet incident that Hales purposely instigated. I'm at a loss for how the magistrate rewarded such abuse. So he's telling you, this has been decided, rewarded such, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That right there is telling you, it's already decided, and yet, despite that, he is still doing this. You know, and again, are you telling me that this is not to intimidate freaking Jeremy Hales? Are you telling me?
And his lawyers, he's probably one of the strategies behind this is probably to get Jeremy's lawyers to drop him.
I mean, this right here, this kind of shit has to be a violation. I mean, again, he has.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is. And we're just going to have to wait and find out how.
We'll have to find out, but
I'm pretty sure it's a violation. For one, he doesn't practice in Ohio, and he has not gone to the Ohio court or bar and asked for pro hoc vice status, so he cannot write on behalf of anyone for anything in Ohio.
I'm at a loss for how the magistrate rewarded such abuse, rather than warning your client against weaponizing the protective order or vacating it on the spot, and without warning you against vexatious violence to harass the respondents by weaponizing the protective order. He doesn't.
Well, why are you complaining to the lawyers? You should be complaining to the judge then, because what do they know? Why? How do they know how she decided it? Ask the judge.
I wonder
but
what
she decided
I wonder if they tried to contact the judge.
I bet he did. I bet he did. How much you want to bet he did?
Oh, I'm curious.
I'm
very curious about that. You know, with the protective order too. This is the thing that they don't want you to understand. It is when you lose a protective order, it's just like with any other crime. You have lost certain rights. One of those rights, like again, he's going about his business, whatever. He's walking into, again, a store or something. You were supposed to leave. You were not supposed to be there anymore. You were supposed to be making your way out.
Yeah, and none of your excuses. I didn't know she was there. I only walked in to get my mail and walked out. None of that matters. If the person that you are supposed to stay away from is somewhere, you need to turn around and leave. Period. And if you don't, even if you don't cause a scene, even if you don't speak to the person, you have violated the order.
The person that has it, I mean, again, you think about protective orders. Like I said before, if we were talking about, it's not just Jeremy. Jeremy always becomes the face of this, but also think about George. Think about John Cook. Okay. If George walked into a place and was like, oh my God, that guy, get him out of here. I'm uncomfortable, whatever. Would they be talking about causing a scene and more? Absolutely not. It would be seen different. But because Jeremy is a larger male, I mean,
right.
Let's forget some of the things they've said that they want to do to him. Somehow that negates it. It changes the rules. No,
and that the guy who says it carries a pew-pew around in his pocket all the time. He's armed all the time.
Yeah.
And according to Lynette, also on substances all the time.
He lies all the time. That's what you said too.
Mm-hmm.
Continuing to pursue, she says, motions for contempt will result in claims against your. So threats, absolute threats. More threats.
Hilariously, by the way, That dude who read this on the air, he couldn't say the word specious. He said spacious.
Spacious. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Continuing to pursue spacious motions.
That made me laugh.
It's funny.
Also, it was really hard to listen to him read it. You couldn't get the context of any of it. And I was like, what is he
You can
saying?
tell a lot of the ecosystem has never seen a document in their life.
They've
real.
clearly never read through a document for anybody before. This is a new thing to them. Because, you do have to pay attention to punctuation, know how to pronounce words.
Well, you also you have to understand context.
Right.
And you can't just blindly celebrate every single filing as if, oh my God, this is the great. No, man, the context here, this is actually pretty jacked up what he's doing. Somebody in the ecosystem should be like, yo, man, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Like, this is not good, dude.
Well, but they don't have a frame of reference for any of that. They've never covered court stuff before, clearly, because of all the stupid stuff they say.
I mean, some
it
of them
has
have
no
been
base
there before.
any law. Some of them have been there before. Yes, they've all been there before, but they clearly didn't understand those proceedings either, because they've managed to piss off the judges in those cases too.
In case you'd claim not to realize Hales is abusing litigation, attached here is the sworn affidavit submitted by Florida counsel Randall Shockett. Paragraph 19.
Did I ever tell you the Speechify calls him Shoshay? It drives me crazy. I hate
Randall
it.
Shoshay.
Shoshay. Attorney Shoshay. I am so tired of hearing Gwyneth Paltrow say Shoshay.
I kind of like it though. Shoshay versus Manskin. Yeah.
And there's no way to tell Speechify hey, this word sounds like this.
Yeah, you can't tell it to.
Yeah.
That's one of the things AI needs to work on for sure.
Oh yeah, the pronunciation. Yeah, you have to spell it out phonetically for AI to pronounce it correctly.
It's wild. I know.
Shoshay.
Sometimes, like in songs, you can tell in the songs we're putting them together when I'm working this. I'm just like, who cares?
Well, what the hales? It can't say what the hales. AI says what the hell else. And I'm not sure why. Hales is easy to pronounce. It looks exactly how it sounds. But AI reads it as hell else.
I have to separate that umbrella guy. I have to separate it as its own words. So, or you get, sometimes it'll say it, and sometimes Lord, it makes a mush word. So paragraph 19 was included specifically to mislead the federal magistrate about minimum amount in controversy, and the magistrate relied on it in exercising.
Oh my God, he's still on with this. We have the evidence, and we have more evidence.
Oh, we have more evidence.
This is not true. This is not true.
Yeah. Okay. So they keep saying, like we were talked about last night, we read the 5 items, which some of them were gross. Here, let me pull up last night. Actually, let's pull up a couple of those real quick. Okay. Why not? Okay. So last night's we had this one. Remember, the whole idea was they weren't accusing him of being a PDF file, right? They weren't making any statements like that. Well, here's one of them. Again, we went through, and number 5 here, it said, well, John is not an SO or a PDF file, but I find it funny you hang out with men that are, and you yourself are disgusting towards children, mainly focusing on little girls. Yeah. Okay, well, there's one of them. All right.
That's one.
One down. Okay, then we...
So, in other words, Bruce, there are other online posts exactly like he said. So in other words, he did not mislead the federal court. He told the truth. So now you're spreading a bunch of defamation about Jeremy Hales that's provably false to other attorneys, his own attorney. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. I'm starting to get concerned that, the men in the white coats need to make a visit to this dude's office.
There's ones where she's calling him a
Much like paint
perverted.
chips, he needs to be court ordered to have a psych evaluation.
Indeed. My princess is none of your damn concern. Why are you obsessed with her and her diapers and potty habits, you damn perverted jerk? What? Gross. You know? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
There's
I mean,
two.
let's see. There's and of course, as far as the kid thing, again, there are videos right now. There is a video sitting out there with John Cook talking about how he is trying to film over a fence because he's trying to film little girl. Let's just say, yeah, this narrative has never stopped, ever stopped. So the idea
they're still doing it.
Mhm.
They're doing it on the ecosystem. What's his name? I don't know their names. I really don't.
I did make a copy of the video though, for sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've got a copy of it. There was another one, you know. I have more, but why would a grown adult aim a camera at a child's private area for any reason whatsoever, and then ask her how it feels for the goat? It's like on her fingers. Yuck! No one does that. What? Just like the pictures of my babies in her. What? This is
No.
gross.
And the one picture that she is referring to is a picture she posted.
Mhm.
Jeremy didn't take that picture. She posted it. He commented on it. End of story.
And she starts calling him she starts putting out a narrative about him. And it is not, she didn't just start, she's continued that narrative. And that is a life-ruining narrative, is what that is. So to pretend that does not exist, it has never existed. You know, there's only the signs that are in controversy, and that's it. It's a flat-out lie. There's all kinds of statements there. But again, it's like, if there were, quote-unquote, online posts calling me a certain type of predator, as Hale swore under oath, you would have included them in your filings to support of the PO. Please advise if you are in possession of any evidence of such online postings calling me, again, certain type of predator that show that he didn't commit perjury. If you wish to discuss anything pertaining to this matter, please call me. Kindly confirm receipt. Yeah. That's his narrative over and over again. That stuff doesn't exist. Prove it. Okay, well, we proved it over and over again, man. You know?
Yeah, like how many more of these do we need? Actually, I don't think we even need more than one. We don't.
No, the first one is plenty.
First one's good enough.
5,
Not to mention that she deleted the entire page that posting came from, which, like I told you guys last night, a jury and a judge can take a negative inference from deleting evidence like that. They can assume that whatever was there was harmful to the plaintiff. Deleting it does not help you in any way. And she did. She deleted the entire page. So the fact that he doesn't have every single screenshot doesn't matter. There's a negative inference that can be taken and will be taken.
That stuff is just so... that is a crazy freaking letter to see go out. I can believe...
He's bonkers.
I really wonder, like, do you need to speak to a professional, man? I mean, for real. Do you need to talk to somebody?
Like,
because
get
there's
help.
something wrong. Like, for real.
Seriously, get help. Seek help. Because this is not okay. It's not okay that your entire career consists of harassing people. And you see it in his bar complaints in Connecticut, you know, where he's the lawyers on the bar. He's like cyber stalking them, sending them, hundreds of emails that are unwanted. Doesn't stop when they ask him to stop. This is repeated, consistent behavior.
It's so bizarre, man.
We also have the therapy.
We also have. We had a new filing today too. This is interesting because we are talking about yet another case. Although all of them are, I look at it all as being one case a lot of times. You know, I mean, when you think about it, it's all you have the federal case, and then you had this vexatious litigation that was an offshoot of it. You know,
And why is it that the Trespass 5 case we just hear nothing about ever?
it is strange, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, nothing ever happens in that case. I don't know why.
So actually,
I was told we need to pay special attention to this one, so we have to read it carefully.
Give me 1 second. There's an address on the front of that. I don't have to cut it, but I'm going to. I just saw it. I didn't see it. Give me 1 second, folks.
Sure.
I'm gonna cut that off there. You know, like I said, you don't have to, but you know, it's right there. Well, all these are, again, people pull these offline, you know.
Right. They're not properly redacted. Please hold while your host redacts the information.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you don't have to redact it. I'm not sure. Anyway, I should redact page 1. There we go.
Please hold for that umbrella guy. He will be with you in just one moment.
Umbrella Guy is redacting documents now. He's slow because I don't run out of music to say what I want. Okay.
We appreciate you in the chat. Thank you for waiting. Your patience is greatly appreciated.
Please pick up a beverage at our
now would be a great time for a bathroom break.
While you're at it, would you like to upsize your popcorn to the really the BBB? That's right. Would you like to get the bigger?
While you are waiting, please remember that your host has lots of medical bills to pay for currently and could use some super chats.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord, today. Like for some reason, I don't know why, but like for 3 minutes, my blood pressure jumped like insanely. You know, it's usually bottomed out, and it just decided not to be bottomed out, you know, with medication.
Weird.
It decided, it jumped up. I was like, holy crap, what is this? So, it jumped to like 149 over something. I was like, what? God's name. And then it went back down to where it was supposed to be. I was like, well,
weird.
You know, yes, fix that, please. Okay. All right. So again, Trespass 5. Now, like Megan said, we haven't heard a lot about Trespass 5. It's kind of it's
stale sitting there.
It's strange, to be honest. I mean, this is a loser of a case, to be quite honest. I mean, again, they went after the 5 people, but they went after a police officer as well. You know, they decided to go after quite a few. So this is a first request for production of documents to defend it. They're asking for the info. So Jeremy Hale's Martha. I'm sorry. She said her name's there, George. I didn't even mean to say that way, but I did.
It's all right.
Larry Foreman. Who cares, man? They put it in there enough.
It's out there now.
Yeah. I mean, I hate that for you, George. I know you wanted to go with it. It's just, I got to the point, you know, people put I didn't want my name out, especially. And, you know, that's the first go-to. That is. And it's a nasty thing that people do, you know. And they really love to do that with lawfare. They love to put that in. Media loves to do it, especially shitty media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get into these low places, they like to do it. And also in lawfare, they love to try to and you know, cause that harassment. So, you know, again, apologies for that, but it's been out there. I used to redact it off the beginning, and I was like, man, you know what? They've done it every document. They know you didn't want it. And you know what? She learned to roll with it. That's good too. Props to them. They've learned to roll with a lot. But anyway.
There's someone in the chat with the name Bruce's Naked Goat Yoga.
Goat yoga. Sexy. That sounds amazing. But maybe that's why the goat faints at the beginning. So on them buying through undersigned counsel, you know, they give the pursuant to rules, the Florida Rule of Civil Procedure, requests that MP to produce and permit counsel for the defendants to inspect and copy or otherwise reproduce the documents set forth below, which are in your possession, custody, or control of you or your counsel within the time prescribed by, again, that rule. Projection is to be made to, redacted. Production shall be pursuant to the following instructions. So, instructions here. Number 1, this request requires production of documents or things in your possession, custody, or control, or for documents or things that are in your possession, custody, or control of your agent, employee, accountants. Give me a second. Let me switch to page 2. Switching to page 2.
Do you want me to read this one?
You can, yes. That would be great. There you go.
Attorneys, representatives, or other persons who have documents deemed to be in your possession, custody, or control. Unless otherwise specifically stated, all requests call for the production of all responsive documents prepared, received, or dated at any time prior to and including the date of production. If any objection is made to any document request, the objection shall state with specificity all grounds.
I bet you since Bruce, quote unquote, helps out with those, I bet you we don't get any more boilerplates, do we?
Well, I don't know. He's
we
not
do?
smart
Oh
enough.
my God, that would be the funniest thing ever.
He'll do it again.
Oh,
Pursuant to Rule 1.350 Florida Rules of Civil Procedure, all documents must be produced as they are kept in the usual course of business or must be organized and labeled to correspond to the categories of documents requested below. If any information requested below is withheld based on a claim that it is privileged or otherwise protected from disclosure, you are requested to furnish a list specifying each document for which the privilege is claimed, together with the following information, where appropriate, with respect to each such document.
Yes, this is what they were supposed to do, by the way. You know, when it comes up, if you claim privilege, you can't just be like, oh, that's all privileged, like we saw before. You know, nope, can't look at it. You have specific rules that you're supposed to follow to tell you what's there, and then a decision is made over whether or not that is actually privileged information.
Right. So the date appearing on the document, or if no date appears, the date on which the document was prepared, the name of the person or persons by whom the document was prepared, and if the document is signed, the name of each person or persons who signed the document, the name of each person to whom the document is addressed, the name of each person other than the addressees identified in C above, to whom the document or a copy thereof was sent, or with whom the document was discussed. Ooh, now that's an interesting one.
That is interesting.
I don't think that I've heard that before.
I guess that gets into, that would get into this interesting portion about who it was discussed with. BBB's been all over this. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, just BBB alone, like what exactly has he had access to?
Mm-hmm. The name of the person or persons who currently have custody of the document, the specified grounds on which the claim of privilege rests.
See, I got wondering about this. You know, oh, well, this is a guy that's just helping me out with stuff. Can I do that with anybody? I mean, that seems a little weird, doesn't it? Like I can't just randomly be like, hey, these random people are helping me out with my law practice here. They don't actually work on cases or anything.
No, I don't think you can. I think you have to alert the court to your legal team, and those lawyers have to be on the record. I mean, I don't think you can just have another lawyer who's not licensed in your state just helping out. I don't think so.
Well, see, I mean, it's weird because like Jeremy actually brought up a really good point in one of his live streams. He said, otherwise, we would see this endless line of lawsuits where you have a lawyer that decides that they're going to go, they want to sue somebody. Hey, Mr. Deep Pocket's over here. You know, I can get some good hours. So they go in, they solicit for a person, they go out, they make contact with said person. Yeah, I want to be part of this. Then they solicit other lawyers to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at this, and they work behind the scenes, they never get involved in the case itself, but they are all over it. You know, they're not legally part of it. They're not disclosed, but.
The chat's asking whose motion this is. In case you're late, this is Jeremy's motion for discovery in thumbnail lawsuit.
Jeremy spoke in class today. I heard that the other day. Remember that song, that Pearl Jam song, Jeremy?
Which song?
You know, Jeremy, the song
No.
from Pearl Jam. It was big.
Oh, yes.
I heard that today. That's why I was like, Jeremy spoke in class.
Yes.
I had heard that forever. So the document or
I haven't heard that one either.
I'm sorry, the paragraph or subparagraph of this request to which each document responds, and the general nature of each document, number of pages which it consists, and sufficient description of the subject matter of document, again without disclosing its contents, to allow its description to the court for a ruling on the claim of privilege. Yes, this is how it's supposed to be. You know, again, court decides if it's privileged. Mm-hmm. So as to any request that is claimed to be overbroad or to seek irrelevant documents, please indicate whether any responsive documents or subcategory of responsive documents are ceded to be discoverable, and identify. Give me 1 second. I gotta look at something here. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to look at something real fast.
It's okay.
Okay. So let's see. Our subcategory, sponsored documents, are conceded to be discoverable, blah, blah. Okay, here. I'm going to pick back up here. As to any requests that claim to be unduly burdensome, expensive, or oppressive, or to which a similar objection is asserted, please provide the following information: the approximate number and or volume of responsive documents, the location and manner in which the documents are maintained, any particular unusual burden or effort required to produce a responsive document, estimated cost to producing, and any other fact on which you rely in support of your claim. The production to be responsive document is unduly burdensome, costly, or difficult. Yes, that gets along. This gets you, hey, we can't produce that because it's going to take us, it's going to take us years and it's going to cost a fortune to do it. Okay, well, tell us. Yeah. Describe it. So for any requested document that are no longer in existence or which cannot be located, anything that's ghosted, identify and describe the document as completely as possible. State when and how the document passed out of existence.
Like it died.
It passed peacefully in its sleep in a shredder.
It met with an unfortunate boating accident.
I hate it when that happens. It's so sad.
So sad.
Or why it can no longer be located. State whether the document was lost, destroyed, discarded, or provided to a third party. Identify any such third party. Oh, by the way, let me give some love to Max Lab. You're the first person to drop this sucker. I haven't Max Lab has gotten fast with these. Max Lab
very
like,
fast.
Yes. So hey, props with that. I'm like, man, you just caught that right out, and every single time. So again, props to Max. Did you know, by the way, that the ecosystem was trying to take aim at Max Lab? I
did hear something about that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know what for. The guy's just doing what anybody in the public can do, which is look up public documents and get them off the docket.
Yeah, so he's being targeted for looking up documents. Just
because he wants to look up the document? Like what? Why? They're sharing the same documents. What is the problem?
They're quote unquote sharing them. Now they're redacting parts of them and more. Maybe they're mad because of this guy. I saw that with the Depp case. Remember, there were 3 people that ended up targeted and named. One of them, Laura B. Like her involvement.
Oh yeah,
she was
I remember
document.
that. I remember that, and that was so unfair. They were trying to wreck her life.
They doxed her husband.
Yes.
Kat Timbar, who has now been fired by By what, NBC? I think that's where she worked. She just got fired.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were going to talk about that. I forgot.
I
can't stand
despise
her.
I'm telling you, she was garbage. She bragged about it. I was like, "Did you just dox this person?" And she was like, "Yep, absolutely. I just."
She should go back to ASMR videos.
Those were so creepy.
So bad. But better than her reporting at NBC.
It was just so weird, though. Listen to me crackle this straw. Is it what in the creepy? Oh,
relax. Relax.
I was like, what? Have you ever seen some of those really weird ASMRs where like they have the microphone that looks like an ear?
Yes, and those idiot women with their nails, they're like on the microphone like this.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Oh, they're like
now the only kind of ASMR that I like is train noises and cafe noises. So I guess it's kind of ASMR because it's like pouring drinks and stuff. But there's something about that puts me right to sleep, like a busy cafe or a train, like as if you're inside the train, so you hear like the rocking on the tracks of the cars. I will sometimes listen to those to go to sleep. But the weirdos doing the weird things with the microphones, I don't understand. Oh, the coin pushers. Yes, thank you, chat. Oh my God, I love the coin pusher videos. Yes.
Coin pushers are fascinating.
That's fantastic ASMR. Yes.
Okay. I was reading, I forgot.
Oh yeah, right. We were reading this.
Let's see. I think I'm on 9. No, wait. No, you're on here. This is you. Go ahead.
Identify each person having knowledge concerning such document. You know what though? Randy he's being so blessedly optimistic. These people aren't going to tell him the truth. Like
no, but
none of this is going to be. They're not going to tell the truth.
But he has information that if they lie, they don't know how much he knows. Here's where they run into a problem. If you decide to omit certain things, well, I mean, he does know that these guys, they've been dumb enough to talk about some of the things that they've done and to talk about it in depth. So, as far as
maybe
that's how that's how the Scott Stark Bruce connection ends up coming up.
That's true. All right. State any additional information that you have concerning the document's current whereabouts. Number 9, any documents bearing any marks, including but not limited to initials, stamped indicia, CCs, comments, or notations not a part of the original text or photographic reproduction thereof is a separate document to be produced. Oh my God. That would be the CCs and the BCCs.
Oh, yeah. So we can see who sending them to.
Although he didn't write BCC in there.
Yeah, but
I think that's covered.
Any.
Yeah. Whenever a document is not produced in full, state with particularity the reason or reasons why it was not produced in full, and describe to the best of your knowledge, information, or belief, and with as much particularity as possible, those portions of the documents that are not produced, including the content or substance of the content thereof. File folders are to be produced intact with their documents. Documents attached to each other should not be separated. Computerized information, and this is in bold, computerized information and electronic records are to be produced to an intelligible and readable format and are to be accompanied by a description of the system from which they were obtained. Words in the singular, including their plural meaning, and vice versa. The conjunction and the disjunction or shall be individually interpreted in every instance as meaning and or, and shall not be interpreted to exclude any information otherwise within the scope of the request. Each pronoun, this is very thorough, each pronoun shall include the masculine, feminine, neuter, singular, and plural as required by the context in which used, and shall not be interpreted to exclude any information otherwise within the scope of the request. All right, Randy, this is a very it's a large order for people who don't know what a possessive plural is. I'm just saying.
Okay, now they have descriptions. Okay, now I'm not going to go over, again, I always like going over, or the definitions rather. We're not going to go over all the definitions because the definitions are like this. Okay, so just to make sure you understand why I'm skipping this. This is pretty much standard form. You have some change sometimes in the beginning portion. Definitions, though, they look like this. You know, they define things like document. A document is, you know, and they'll go through all of this.
I love it. I love it, though. But I mean, this is what's so funny about these types of requests is that you have to be so specific because they'll say, well, I didn't know you meant a drawing. I thought you meant electronic records. So you have to be very specific, which is every kind of drawing, graph, charts, agreements, contracts, analytics, analysis, appointment records, audio records. Look at how it's in alphabetical order too. Bills, books of account, calendars, checks, computer cards, tapes, diskettes. 8-tracks. Are 8-tracks in here? They should be. Personal and business.
That's why they put or otherwise, you know. That's why they're not like microfiche, you say. I store all of my documents on microfiche. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know,
but look how thorough it is. Telex is. What even is a telex? I don't even know what that is.
I mean, they put a lot of outdated stuff, but they always make
Is
sure.
Rolodex in there? Is Rolodex in there? That would be funny.
No, actually, it's not. But they always
8-tracks, Rolodex, microfiche. I want all of it.
They do. They're basically saying, "Hey, anyway, you've hidden it," and then you get
stick figure drawings,
stick figure,
voodoo dolls, witchcraft. Witchcraft yoga books.
Witchcraft yoga. Oh my God.
Magic rocks.
Some of these are fascinating, actually. When I went through the request, I was like, wow, this is interesting. So number one is all documents which support the claims you made in the operative complaint in this case. Okay, so any document that, that's understandable. All right. All screenshots of any web pages which contain your image or likeness, which you contend support the claim you made in the operative complaint in this case. Again, this is about thumbnails. So they're like, hey, why don't you show us any of these there? All documents published by defendants that would show that your photo, image, and or likeness on defendants' YouTube pages and or in video thumbnails on defendants' YouTube pages was or were not taken in a public place. All right. So right there. And we have, we know 100% this was one of the arguments that we just ran across when we were talking about the counterclaims to public places. They do not count. So you can't be like, well, sorry about that. No, you take a picture of somebody in a public place, and you know.
And all the thumbnail photos that were used came from her deposition, which was public, or court appearances.
Yeah. So all documents published by defendants that would show that your photo, image, and or likeness on defendants' YouTube pages or in video thumbnails, they were not already publicized elsewhere or republicized. And so you're talking about, again, you know, with being publicized elsewhere, again, when you're talking about litigation, that's there. That's already part of it. So that's because this is where this is going to come in. All documents published by defendants that would show that, again, photos, image, likeness, etc., in video thumbnails was or were not taken from public records or proceedings. That right there. So wasn't in a public place. Was it publicized or republicized? Did this come from a public record or proceeding? You know, and of course, yes, they all did. Like, otherwise, how would you have gotten it?
Right.
You know. And her photos, what's fascinating about it, when people look at those, so I heard somebody when they heard about the thumbnail, they were like, well, that's AI, right? It's like, no, that's not AI. That is her. She's saying you can't use her picture. That is absolutely her.
Oh, God.
So all documents published by defendants that would show that your photo, image, and or likeness on defendant's YouTube. Give me a second. Switching over. All right. There are 2 more of these. 1 minute. 2 more areas. There you go.
Pages and or in video thumbnails on defendants' YouTube pages were not acquired by legitimate means. So show us the evidence that they were not acquired by legitimate means.
Right.
All documents published by defendants that would show that your photo, image, and or likeness on defendants' YouTube pages and or in video thumbnails on defendants' YouTube pages was or were used to directly promote a product or service of the publisher.
Yep.
That's a big one.
That is. See, the game they've been playing is they pretend that putting something on a thumbnail is somehow promotion, and that's not. That's clarification. Like for me, you notice my thumbnails when I put it up. It's a pretty basic formula. You know, I tell you what it's about. That's
and I'm going to sue him for using that picture of me that he refuses to change. You're treading on thin ice, sir.
And you know what? I found it publicly already.
I'm gonna sue you for not changing that old picture of me.
I'll change it.
No, I'm not even going to ask you to
make
change
it bald.
No, because you're going to make it worse. That's what's going to happen.
I will make you bald. What happened?
Don't you dare.
Oh my God, that would be fun.
Do you know how many times I have sent him updated pictures? I'm like, hey, by the way,
just send me like
here's
20 pictures.
Here's some updated pictures if you would like to use a different one instead of the one you've been using for the last that is 3 years old.
She did for sure.
With
for real,
it has
legit.
totally different hair color.
Oh my God, I loved it. That was so funny. She was like, by the way, yeah, if you would like to use it, I was like, yeah, I don't want to.
And then he just ignored me. He just ignored me completely and just put the same one up again. I think I should sue. I think I should sue for that.
Like mental duress,
emotional damage.
Oh my God.
Emotional damage.
I don't even know how to process some of the stuff we came across today. It is so wild, you know. I mean, that's again, the requests are they're fascinating because that thumbnail litigation, Bruce, again, he really messed up. He messed up in a lot of ways when he brought this stuff, and then pulling
what? I thought he was a genius. The ecosystem says he's a genius.
Yeah, that they say a lot of things. I mean,
if this is genius, I would hate to see what in this.
Oh yeah, could you imagine what they consider
medium smart is?
Actually, you know what they consider a moron? Anyone that doesn't agree.
Yeah.
With their version of genius.
It's so weird. I've never seen people behave this way ever.
Oh, by the way, so I thought after a few days that all of that craziness, that was aimed toward Travis, all that about I thought that would subside a little bit, maybe they'd cut that down a little bit, but they have it in there. So I'm going to do something, I think. Hey, chat, what do you think about this? I think I'm going to invite Travis to come on maybe next week sometime. I think we should have a sit down and we should actually talk about what happened there. What do y'all think about that?
I think it's a good idea.
I think it would be a fun idea. Travis is a fun guest. He's actually he's energetic. He's positive. He actually wants to do positive promotion. But also, I would love on there to hear exactly what he has to say about it. So I'm going to reach out and be like, hey, what's up, my man? You want to come on? And I'm sure he'll be okay with that. Travis, he said anytime. So I think I'm going to do that. Just because, again, these people, I know he likes to avoid drama. I get it. But they have gone out and they have tried to.
Oh, they're bringing the drama to you, There's just no getting around it. They're not happy to leave well enough alone or let you mind your own business.
That's because they have access to
do it. And yet then they scream and cry about when they do drag you into it, and then you respond, and then they start screaming and crying about their mental health. It's really disgusting.
What was fascinating, when they kept dragging like you, family, you more into that, and then you were like, all right, well, let's talk about you people then. You want my attention? Let's do it. Oh my God,
you got my attention.
How dare you?
Yeah, you got my attention. And by the way, I should be getting more of information on that soon. We're gonna have a Rumble exclusive soon. You guys ready for that? Because I just got notice that was it Port St. Lucie? I don't remember which Florida town, but I just got notice that the sheriff's office has a FOIA request for me, and I paid them the money, so they should be handing over a bunch of documents about somebody in the hate ecosystem.
Oh man, that'll be fun times indeed. Oh my gosh. Oh, the crazy never ends. All right, I'm doing super chats. You hanging or are you bailing?
I gotta run. I gotta go make sure Hangry got in bed. He is so sick. I got him tested for allergies. I told you the other day he got like 20 shots. Well, now a day and a half later, he is sick. Oh, like really sick. Like he's got a barking cough, and now it's getting worse. And I'm sure it's all the allergens that they pumped into him, and he's just feeling really bad.
Well,
so I need
tell him to feel better.
I will. I'm gonna go make sure that he's tucked in and doesn't need more tissues and stuff.
Okay. Well.
All right.
Like I said, you tell him to feel better for show.
Okay, I will.
Everyone's get sick. All right.
I know.
We'll see what pops off in the next day.
I'm sure it's gonna be insane. Bye, chat.
Every day. Later. Man, this day, I tell you, like I could not believe, like I said, what we had pop off today. That one document alone, like it was absolutely crazy. Again, they have decided that they're going to target Ohio. They're going to target the protective order, and that's crazy. They're already doing it. They're talking about it. They have, again, you can show the links. You have a PR team that is talking about it. You have two people with very sordid pasts that have posted portions of it now. You can actually connect them to their lawyer. Then you have the lawyer make it. This is nuts. Like when you start thinking about that, it's absolutely nuts. But anyway, let's get some super chats in here. So my favorites kicked it off. Gifted membership. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Love those gifted memberships. Thank you. Let's have it. I minimized my chat there. Sorry about that. Jump. Thanks for the 20 there. Garlic breadstick for the vampire, for the hater vampires. Oh man, you gotta watch out. I might take them out. TC, thanks for the 2 there. I'll mess up your name. So TC, thanks for the 2. Not a statement there, but it is a statement. Thank you. Appreciate you. Nancy, thanks for the 2 there. Needed a laugh. Found out today of cancer. Oh no, Nancy. Well, you know what? You know that there was a problem. You have the information on that, and there are a lot of options out there. So you look at that, you look at yourself as being informed on that, and you fight. Love to you. Much, much love to you. Hope you have support around you. You always have support here. So again, love and support to you, Nancy. I'm not saying that's good. It's just like when I look at, trying to find out answers to what's been going on with my health. When I get an answer, I'll have an answer at least, and then I'll know how to try to fight it. And damn, I like to fight. So, again, people in your corner, love to you. Fallen Hero. What's up, Fallen Hero, by the way, man? Appreciate you. Thank you for that gifted membership. Love it. Thank you, buddy. Wizzy Wills, thanks for the 10 there for the Tuglet Candy Fund. So I took them to the freaking candy store. Oh my Lord. That was crazy. So I did. I took them there today. I thought I'd go, you know what? This is crazy for me to say, but I went into a candy store today and I did not get any candy for myself. It's a strange thing, but I did not. In fact, we are going on 15. Actually, this was day 15, I believe. Yeah, day 15. And no caffeine, no Cokes, no candies. And, the kids, they wanted I let them have a candy day, like I said. And they ended up wanting the bottle Cokes, you can get because they taste better. I didn't get a Coke. It's like, ha. I didn't make any excuses for it. I just avoided it. Not worth it. Stayed away from it. I was like, man, I'm proud of that. But the kids, they had a good day. They walked out with bags of candy. They had they had like 30 or 40 bucks a piece, and they spent it. They were like, I'm buying all. They had been saving up money. Been giving them their breadsticks, and they had gotten a couple of toys a while back, and then they saved money to go. And I mean, they went all out candy. They were getting the old bubblegum tape and the old just a lot of the old candies are making comebacks, which is fascinating. Big League Chew, all of that good stuff. So it's kind of fun. Thank you, Weezy Wheels. Appreciate that. That's what made me think of it. Sandra D, thank you for the gifted membership there. Appreciate that. That is awesome. Thank you for dropping that in there. I have my favorites. Thanks for the 5 there. Breadstick money to piss off the haters. I know. They were having an epic fit about money the other day, which was just fascinating. I mean, they've somehow replaced all of their technology and more, but they complain all the time about the breadsticks. It's like, are you kidding me? It's so bizarre. David, thanks for the 4 months there. Send you a Facebook message on the admin of the Hang group. There's no admin now, or it's hidden. If no admin, yeah, okay. So let me clarify on this. So there has to be an admin. I noticed this. I actually wrote Megan and someone else about it because I wanted to look into this a few weeks back. So it's been a few weeks now. This is on the quote unquote fan page, the What the Hell's fan page. So there's no admin showing anymore. But it's been like that for a few weeks. Now, you have 7 days. If an admin leaves, you have 7 days. So they couldn't have just left and dumped it. They either hid, you can hide the admin and not tell people who it is anymore. They may have well done that, especially considering we were talking about, requests for information. They want to make it harder, perhaps, to find out who exactly they are, which I can see that. Or they may have transferred the admin to someone else who decided to hide. I don't know, but it's been a hot minute. So I'm talking about days. It's been past the 7-day mark, and that room has not disappeared. I would say this, though. If anything comes up in any of those groups, yesterday, for example, somebody was posting under their real name. And they said, because of some of the stuff that had been going on connected to LP, they were no longer a supporter of Hale's. And it's like, okay, well, that's an interesting admission, because that is exactly what you look for court. So you document things like that. You document on the other pages when they're dumb enough to open up about, again, whether it's a YouTube video where they do an interview saying that, again, somebody's filming so they can get pictures of children. Those kind of things, they have value. So make sure that you catch everything. It's like Pokemon. Got to catch all that evidence. And thank you, too, for noting that, David, because that could have potentially been a big thing. Like when I noticed that, if that would have been something that came up in the last few days, I did a lot of research on that to find out if about camouflaging admins and stuff, just to see how that worked out. But yeah, I thought the same thing at first. Weezy Wheels, thanks for 6 months there. After 50 years, I was diagnosed with autism during the beer bug. I can only understand why I'm so weird. LOL. Well, we're all individual. Like they have all these. I imagine the stuff that I do, for example, in my life. I imagine that I would probably have quite a few diagnoses these days, but the generation that I was born into did not diagnose as heavily. Diagnostics, unless there's a problem that interrupts your life, that doesn't really matter. I mean, it's a category. It's just a catch-all slot. Now, if you need it, you know, if you need something for it, cool, for sure. But it does not define you because you're an individual. You know, you are a person with a diagnosis. Always remember that. I just like to throw that in there. But weird? No, man. Welcome to the club, man. That's what makes people fun. Ma, thanks for the fun there. Wash your fun. I don't need wash fun, but I appreciate it there. Thank you. Man, we are one super chat off of 50. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, folks. That's crazy. My adventures in homebrewing. Thanks for the vibe. This is Queer Bullet Points. Just to see if you're reading the super chat. Actually, what's funny is I'll take pictures and send them over. I love doing stuff like that. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny to do things. So I will send them for real. My dog thinks of it too. Key West, world's largest free range insane asylum. That's funny. That is really funny. Bootsy, what's up, Bootsy? Thank you for that membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership. Welcome to Tugs. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Awesome to have you. Next, thanks for the 10 there. Hey, Deuce Foreskin Ambulance Chaser. Hi, Walruses. They're getting breadsticking money, making you mad. I know. Apparently, people are indeed getting very, very angry about stuff too. Have you seen the things that it's like they've lost the plot. It's kind of fascinating. Misbehaving. Thank you for that gifted membership too. Thank you, Misbehaving. Always appreciate you too. And again, I always appreciate your recommendations. That's awesome. My adventures in homebrewing, 5 gifted memberships dropped on that. Thank you for that too. I love those gifted memberships. I do. They are great there. Measy Wheels, thanks too. I don't know. I don't think they know what the truth is anymore. I think they do. Sometimes I think you can lie to yourself so much, and maybe they do believe certain things. But at the same time, you know, they're presented with truth. It's just like I was talking about at the beginning of this. As far as Paint Chip's little partner there, I told Paint Chip's little partner all of this stuff about John Cook. If you want proof that this person is abusive, well, here it is, man. Here it is. These are things that Lynette Preston herself has stated. Oh, no, that doesn't count. So either, again, it puts them in a quandary, and they cannot respond to that. Because either they have to admit that those are lies, and that would make LP a liar, which is bad for them, or they're truth, and that makes JC a horrible, horrible human being. So what they do is they go with whataboutism, and they pretend. He actually had the audacity to say, "This sounds like a JC hit piece." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Of course, though. Again, not surprised coming from the person that it was. At least, and thank you for the, sorry about that for a second. sorry about that, but thanks for the 279. Hales, apostrophe. Indeed. You would think, again, you know, I'm not going to get onto people for what they just post or whatever, but I'm not the one out publishing articles pretending to, to be that type of journalist. I would consider myself more of an investigative journalist. Yeah. What's up, DJ Radis? Thanks for the 10. Hope we both watch my Liar Net Dear Diary tonight after the show. Don't watch while eating drum. No. I refuse to take responsibility for you laughing and spitting. Love your favorite Aussie DJ. Yes, indeed. My favorite Aussie DJ, but also, by the way, he's part of the center of the fun as far as some of these lawsuits too. Props to you, man. Appreciate you. Max Lab, thanks for the 2. This is awesome. I know, man. This has been crazy. Like I said, props to Max Lab too. I cannot believe they targeted Max Lab of all people. Again, we saw that with the Depp case. There were 3 people, and I got why they would want to silence folks. But you know, one of the things that they're afraid of is absolute truth, documentation. You don't have to put out any kind of opinion with it. You end up being a document puller, and that by itself it's probably the worst danger to some of these folks, because there is no opinion in the document. The document itself, when people read it, again, you make up your own mind, and that's unfortunate, though. Purveyor of the truth like that, this attack is ridiculous. It shows who people are. It's the Ball Python King. What's up, man? Thank you for the gifted membership. I always love that name. I love saying that too. I love it. Dennis, what's up, Dennis Bass? Thanks for the 5 there. Garlic breadsticks to piss off the haters. Man, both of those equally delicious. Denise, thanks for the 10. Milk Clowns Wars needs a ambulance. Always a victim. Play the mental illness card when it's convenient. Indeed. Here's the problem. I don't judge. Again, if you have problems with some type of mental illness, it's rough. It is. You judge people from having issues. And I try to be sympathetic. I don't, however, when somebody wants to be knives out, tries to ruin people, that is planted right there in the ecosystem and goes after people all the time. But that card comes out when it's convenient, right? That's how they are. Daily Dysfunction. Thank you for the gifted membership too. What's up, Daily Dysfunction? Daily, always here too. I love it. Carol, thanks for the 2. A cockroach. I know some people who actually speak like a cockroach. I know a few of transplants to Tennessee. They have an accent like that. It's kind of funny. Denise, thanks for the 10. Shizzy needs a check mark too. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, with the check marks, it's a sad thing in the system, because they require, I think it's 100,000 subscribers. I don't think that's fair. I think you should be able to, again, there should be a certain place where it's not easy, to meet. That way you can say, because it's set for channels. I think it should be like 10 or 20. That way it is obtainable, but you have to work for it. It's not 100,000. Like, that's a crazy number. What's up, Skipper? What's up, Veteran Nation? Thanks for the 2. It's already too late for her to appeal. Indeed. It is indeed. Well, that's the problem with the protective order. The protective order, and again, they've put out a lot of disinformation about it. And it's fascinating because I had never really looked at the protective order itself. Again, it hadn't been put out in public. I had not gone and hunted it down. We had heard the stuff that was there. I thought there was plenty of information and plenty of proof that said that it was necessary. Then they started sending it around, and you start learning a lot about it after reading it. Again, the ecosystem, they've decided, and it's part of a narrative. How can you tell that people are on board in their ecosystem? Because they all start gravitating toward a certain thing. Like for me or Megan, we will work on looking at certain things, and the whole day pulls together because we'll go after certain information. If we find out there's something out there, we'll try to get a hold of it, or there'll be a new filing. But these people, they're all working on one specific item. They're not pulling up court documents and doing this stuff. They started all targeting the protective order. Now, why would you do that? Well, because it has a goal. Isn't that interesting? They all shift toward a specific thing, kind of like they're coordinating behind the scenes. Weird, isn't it? Thanks for the 8 months. Jeremy, Megan needs a washing machine. Any extras for storage? Oh, man, for real. Actually, that's a good question, to be honest. Maybe she could get one. He could recommend something amazing. Maybe he has some industrial machine they could actually put together in her freaking house. That would be amazing. You'd be like, absolutely. I have this one that was left over from a laundromat. She loves laundromats, so that'd be good. Becky, thanks for the 2. Elemental P says it's fraudulent. Yeah, we hit that one before, and thank you. Appreciate that. I just wanted to throw it in there again. Indeed. I'm in a pay though. Man, come on. The writer chick, thanks for the den. There's so much content you two are covering that even I'm drowning in it. I know. So, do you have a spare bed of water wings? I'm gonna need it. Breadstick money. The haters mad. I know it's crazy how much stuff is on this. Like I keep thinking, I want to cover this other thing. You know, I've been looking into the stuff going on with Blake Lively. I've looked into that a little bit more. You know, I wanted to know what was happening there. It's crazy situation. But this thing is so insane. It's hard to find time to do anything else. Having said that, I am going to put out a few videos on that because I have found a couple of things people have missed, and I think it'll be interesting. SF, thanks for the 5. BBB needs to quit looking in the mirror while writing. I know. Well, that's the way any of this stuff is, isn't it? Everything looks like his behavior. When you see it, it is a mirror of that. Again, everything they reference is about them. Isn't that strange? I know you are, but what am I? You know, that's what it feels like, isn't it? Kelly B, thanks for the 5. Wait, they don't have any evidence. Or to delete. Yet they want Ohio to hold and show all evidence. Them for a Florida case? How? Why? Indeed, isn't that interesting? Well, what's really interesting is that they're demanding in Ohio that the lawyers show them protected information. They're going to somehow be able to take those stalker rules. They're going to be able to apply that as their cyber stalking. This is what they're saying. They're going to be able to apply that and break attorney-client privilege. Even though, again, we have a protective order put in place, a protective order that you've had multiple rulings on, and they have not gone in the favor of LP. And they keep hammering it down. I'm telling you, they're going to end up causing some real problems for LP and JC. And you know what? They wanted it. They're all probably behind the scenes celebrating, thinking these are good ideas. What a bunch of idiots. Skipper again. What's up, Veteran Nation? Thanks for the 2 there. I wonder what attorney Martin thinks about this letter. Indeed. You got to wonder, like, what any of these other people, I'm not just talking about attorneys for Jeremy Hales. You have to wonder what the other attorneys that have been connected, indeed, what they do think. What do attorneys that are connected to Ohio? What attorneys that were collected to Florida? What did they think? And from what I hear, BBB got mad because these people wouldn't communicate with him. They don't want anything to do with him. You know, well, these lawyers, they do their job. They do their best thing. And then they try to avoid this guy. What's my PayPal? It's linked in the video description. If somebody would put that up, there was a question about that. So if somebody would link the PayPal thing, thank you. If one of the mods would do that, I appreciate it. Yeah, it is in the I always put those in the video description. That way they're just easily referenced. But the mods can put it up there too. And thank you too for asking. Appreciate you. I'll get to those too in a minute as well. Amy, thanks for the 4 months there. Yo, Bruce, put down the pipe, dude. Crazy seeping out. I do wonder, are people having a mental health crisis? Is there something going on here? It's kind of... Amanda, thanks for 11 months. I think the Googlies have invested in his brain. The polyflops must have unlocked the door and let them in. I know, man. Those polyflops, you got to watch them. They'll mess you up. Kelly, thanks for the 5 there. How about stir upon from a state that not held up? The DBO of Ohio by telling the judge she's wrong in Ohio. Yeah, I can hear now. Hold my gavel. Indeed. Yeah, make them mad. Good job. That would be smart. Pimp stick. I love it. Pimp stick. Hey, I did get the pimp stick working as far as pictures. That sounds really weird. I'm a pimp stick. Sounds like you're hitting people or something. Look at some of these strange, like, look at this. This is so bizarre. This is one of those with the pimp stick qualifier. Look, it has like a cane in there he's holding. It lines up, but we'll put an extra one. I one of my commands is put extra jewelry because I want it to be absurd, you know. Look, I put a fur coat. I told it to drape a fur coat over him like he's a pimp. Oh my God, some of these are funny. Let's see. Give me a minute. I'll show you a couple more. Let's see. I'll show you 3 more that were stuck in here. I thought they were funny. Give me a minute. Look at that. Like he's got 2 canes. Oh, I love it. Look at all the watches. This one was pretty good, except for the hand. Look at that weird ass hand. You can always tell AI. Like if you look at hand, not always, but a lot of times AI's gotten better, but hands are still weird. Look at weird hands. But I love the mask and the setup looks really good. This one, yeah, and you got the pimp and stick. I have like a million freaking pictures. When I'm on Megan's channel, that's what I do. I sit there. You can hear me clicking because this stupid mouse makes too much noise. But I sit on there the whole time and I make freaking icons. I love it. I think it's funny. Let me see. Sort by date. Give me a second. There are a lot. I was looking for some of the other ones. I've got so many like in the snow and all these other here, check this out. I'll just randomly put a few more up and then we'll continue. Check these out. Here's I like that one. It's almost like fight me. Look that even the tie is jewelry. I love it. Look at all his rings. It's awesome. Look at all of them in here. Some of the ones that I've shown you are probably in here too. You got so many just random ones. I usually go, I like the watch embedded in the cane. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. I also like this grainy looking photo. I like that too. He's outside with a blood moon. Look how small his head is. That one's good. Actually, I really like that one. The watch and stuff. It looks really good. I like that one. His head is really small too. And so on. But yes, this is what I'm doing the whole time usually. Either that or I'm answering questions. So anyway, sup y'all, Pimp Stick. That's what we made. Thank you, Pimp Stick, by the way. You made me think of that. Thanks for the square bullet points too. Wow, Wolfman, thanks for the 2. How's this Nimrod? I've been disbarred by now. Because the bar protects its own. They circle the wagons a lot. It's very difficult to get somebody disbarred. It is. It's crazy. Like most people think like, you know, this is functional. Who would pay the dues if you could easily, you know, get knocked out of it? Marcus, thanks for the 11 months there. Good evening, y'all. Tug rocks. Well, thank you, Marcus. I appreciate you. 11 months too. Thank you, brother. Sue Scott, thanks for the 5 there. Not just ethics. I mean, would that letter be considered third-party contact? Yes, see, that's what I'm saying. It does not seem like it should violate. Does that not seem like a real problem here? I don't see how that's not a violation. I'm setting up a redirect for Shizzy too. Give me 1 second while I'm thinking about this. We got a few more super chats. I'm going to redirect to Shizzy. He's live right now. Loved Mr. Shizwiz, by the way. YouTube has been real weird too. So check this out. It's strange that like view-wise, we can have 3,000 or 4,000 people. And sometimes the view count at the end of a stream will be the same as if you had 1,800 people. It's very weird. I don't know what YouTube has been doing lately. But that's a good question, Sue. Puzzler, thanks for the 5. LP and BBB must subscribe to the strategy of, oh yeah, no you are. I know exactly. Defend straight out of the playground retort law book. 0 score for Rich. I know, it is. It's like listening to middle schoolers or kindergartners, you know. Karen, thanks for the 5. Tug, send a package out That's awesome. I'll keep an eye out for it. I love it. I love checking out the freaking PO box. I appreciate all of you that send stuff. It's cool. That's one of my favorite things to check out. So I'll keep an eye out for it. Thank you. AKA the cat lady. Thanks for the 10. I actually saw a defendant in another case who properly deleted stuff to a defamation suit, and the defendant had a judgment entered against them due spoliation of evidence. Yes, you can actually have a judge give an order that you consider that right there. That is a statement against them. Not that it helps them, but that pretty much it proves that that was damaging. So yeah, that can go bad for you. Carol, thanks for the 5 there. Taking too much ADHD, man. So I write pages and pages of ramblings. I like how it's written out there. Children, indeed. Barnyard Sally, thanks for the 5. Don't make the goat faint. I know. Poor goat. Poor goat. Go yoga. Noreen, thanks for the 5. How can BBB write and file the documents if he's not licensed in said state and not a lawyer on the case? Shouldn't start be filing. Well, why is he talking about Ohio doesn't have anything to do with any of them? That's another lawyer. So that was another guy. Again, I don't bring him up. If I went in, I've never seen any footage from Ohio. So I've listened to the defendants talk about stuff. I've gotten that. But as far as a YouTuber, that's a YouTuber I don't have any problems with. Again, if I thought that what he was doing there was dumb, I'd laugh at it anyway. But besides that, I've never had any problems with it. All right. He went in. You can accept a job. Look, everybody is allowed a defense. All right. Even if I think they are the worst pieces of garbage ever, they are allowed a defense. So as far as that is concerned, I don't judge that. I do think it's funny, though. None of them seem to want anything to do with BBB. Don't you find that interesting? It's because that, like, he's on a path that will really cause you problems. So I think a lot of them know that. And thanks for the 2 there, by the way. There is not a statement, but again, it is a statement. It supports. Thank you. Appreciate you. Candy, what's up? Thanks for the $5 super sticker. Like I said, I love the super stickers. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Emma, thanks for the 5. 113. I cannot even imagine that here in South Australia 2 days ago. Now it's 75. I think I'm getting sick. At least I have this crazy to be entertained by. That is some insane weather. Right now, I mean, it's not like that kind of temperature, but we're down again into cold temperatures. Like we're down into, let me see what today actually says. Let me look at the temperature real quick. So today, right now, it's 30 degrees. It was 70 a couple of weeks ago. So we've had a 40-degree drop again, and it's crazy. Nice, thanks for the 10. Tuck, I'm confused. The thumbnail case was dismissed. If so, why did Randy write that out? Because we're trying to find out some interesting things about it. You are allowed to look at, just like remember how we had this discussion with Stark, where you got to depose him? Well, you get to ask specific questions about things. You know, and there's some interesting questions that could be brought up. Like, again, when they got into the case, we found out, for example, and this is because of some of the stuff with Shara, that Bruce may have been the guy paying for this stuff. That's what those messages say, right? We know that there's a Bruce contact behind it and more. So they're like, hey, wait a minute. So you're allowed to ask some questions about things. Yeah. You think they may dig a pretty deep hole. Like, again, hey, you may be looking at some real sanctions after this. And Bruce keeps doing crazier and crazier shit. So, I mean, by the time you actually see something connected to that, holy crap. You know, he's banked on the idea that in Florida, he could shove this into the federal litigation and he won't have any problems. I mean, that was his plan. Oh man, I'm going to shove it right in here and hey, no muss, no fuss, right? The only problem with that is, well, I mean, there's a lot of problems actually. There's a lot of them. And it is fascinating too. Like his wording and everything else. He makes it sound like he was in control of both cases. He makes it sound like, well, which it sounds like he is. Let's be honest. When he talks about it out here and more, who do you think? Do you ever really think Scott Stark sounds like he's in charge of a case? Absolutely not. He sounds like he's just a name on paper. When he was asked about the trial, about what was going on, rather about the case, he couldn't tell you anything about it anymore. So, I mean, you have all of these questions that come up, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, as far as sanctions and more, Sid, thanks for 24 months. There wasn't a statement attached to that, man. 24 months, 2 years there, man. That is one heck of a statement. Thank you, Sid. And Emma, thanks for that. Got a 122 in some parts of the state. That's wild. I cannot imagine temperatures like that. I can't imagine it at all. So let's see. Also, I'm going to say AK. AK said $20. Thank you, AK. There is not a statement attached to that, but that is its own statement. Thank you for that. That's amazing. RR sent a $20 as well. Thank you, RR. That's awesome. SC, Cheryl sent 5 and sent something yesterday too. And I missed it before I signed off with Megan. And apologies for that. I hate doing that, but I did it. But thank you. LD sent 30 also in a PayPal. Man, that's crazy. There's another 30. Thank you. There was something else too. Give me a second. I'm making sure. I'm trying not to miss anybody. I think there was something earlier today. I'm trying to make sure I catch them. Just give me one moment. I'm trying to find the one from last night as well. Give me 1 second. Because I appreciate the heck out of y'all. That's why I try to make sure I don't miss any of those. And I note them. There was one from a CL. There was 100 bunks that came through. That's crazy, man. Thank you. For real. Thank you for that. That's amazing. And there was one other yesterday. And I apologize. I cannot find it. And I hate that because last night somebody sent something. Again, like I said, I want to say thank you to anybody that supports the channel, supports what we do. And that, yesterday I was like, man, like we had to re-up the PO box. It was $100. It's like $80 something. Like, oh my God, man. And then that it was fixed. I was like, man, that's crazy. Oh, MK sent 4 yesterday as well. Thank you, MK. I see that there. So that was the one I missed too. I had a SC and MK. I missed both of y'all again. But thank you. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you over to Shizzy. Shizzy needs that love. So let's give Shizzy some love. Go over there. Tell him that again. Tug sent you. Let's do a Tug raid. Oh, man. I'll go over. Like I said, say hi to Shizzy. Again, Shizzy's an entertaining guy. So go and give him some love. All right. And thank you, folks. I'll see you.